In 2023, the Premier League dropped a bombshell: 115 charges against Manchester City for alleged financial misconduct over nearly a decade. It's one of the biggest scandals in football history, from inflated sponsorships to hidden payments. With potential punishments ranging from huge fines to expulsion from the Premier League, it could really shake the football world to its core and force Europe's clubs to keep a close eye on their finances next time. Today we delve into 8 facts about Manchester City's financial troubles, and believe me, this saga is wilder than you can imagine. Over the last 15 years, Man City have built a reputation as one of the most successful clubs in the world, winning several Premier League titles and playing in multiple Champions League finals. But the question is, how did one of the biggest clubs in the world get here? Well, the Premier League has strict financial conduct rules to ensure a level playing field. Clubs must report accurate financial information, including income, sponsorship deals, and, most importantly, manager and player compensation. It was alleged that City had falsified these figures, either by inflating sponsorship deals or hiding payments to avoid the financial fair play rules. To put it simply, it was this alleged malpractice that allowed the citizens to build a multi-billion-pound squad in just a decade and a half, having never been one of the world's top clubs before that. Meanwhile, between 2018 and 2023, the Premier League conducted extensive checks and investigations into Man City's possible illegal activities between 2009 and 2018, before officially making the alleged accusations against the club in February of 2023. How did it all begin? Well, it started out as a routine financial audit, which quickly turned into the biggest trial in English football, thanks to a curious hacker and a German news outlet. It all began in 2018 when Der Spiegel published a bombshell report exposing alleged financial wrongdoing at Manchester City. The key to this Pandora's box? A Portuguese hacker named Rui Pinto, who gained access to thousands of internal City emails and documents. Pinto, who ran the notorious Football Leaks website, handed over a treasure trove of data to Der Spiegel. Among the files were stunning emails suggesting that City had inflated their sponsorship deals to comply with financial fair play rules. This prompted UEFA to launch an investigation, and eventually the Premier League joined in. What seemed like a simple audit turned into a 5-year investigation that shook the English game. And to be honest, it's almost cinematic, isn't it? Hackers, leaked emails, and secret deals being exposed. Now, Manchester City are being accused of 115 financial breaches, and unlike most Premier League sagas, this one won't be decided on the pitch. But as you may have noticed, the investigations were overdue by more than 5 years, which certainly seems a long time. But why has it taken so long? The answer may lie in the charges themselves. Of the 115 charges Manchester City face, 35 are related to the club's alleged failure to cooperate with the investigation. Between 2018 and 2023, the Premier League alleges that City didn't exactly roll out the red carpet for investigators. Delayed responses, missing documents, and a whole lot of evasiveness that made the Premier League's job much harder. The sheer volume of alleged offences has certainly complicated matters. The Premier League had to sift through years of financial documents, sponsorship deals, and contracts. Each document raised more questions, and getting to the bottom of them was certainly not easy. But on the other hand, what happens if Man City are found guilty of these 115 charges? Well, the list of possible punishments is about as long as the charges themselves, and they range from minor to the downright catastrophic. At the lighter end, City could face fines that might sting for a minute but won't really slow them down. After all, this is a club worth tens of billions, with owners worth hundreds of billions. Things get a lot spicier when you start talking about points deductions. It could send them tumbling down the Premier League table faster than a run of poor form. Imagine City going from title contenders to mid-table mediocrities. It's a wild thought, isn't it? Rumours of other punishments range from being thrown out of the Premier League to being stripped of titles to players being struck off or not being allowed to register. A point of interest to opposing teams is the most severe penalty, titles strips. As in such a scenario, Premier League history would change entirely. In this hypothetical case, Man United would be crowned champions for the 2011 and 12 and 2017-2018 seasons, while Liverpool would be awarded the 2013-14 title. However, the likelihood of such a development is extremely low, with these rumours mainly swirling around 2023. With the official start of the trials in September 2024, fears of the title being stripped from them are unfounded. You might be wondering, haven't Manchester City been here before? Well, yes, and not exactly. Back in 2020, UEFA slapped City with a 2-year ban from European competition for breaching financial fair play rules. It sent shockwaves through the game, but City didn't just sit there. They hired a lawyer, appealed to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, or CAS, and much to the relief of their fans, they won the appeal. The ban was overturned and City paid a reduced fine. So the case is closed, right? Well, not quite, because this time it is much more complex. While UEFA focus mainly on the FFP infringements between 2012 and 2016, the Premier League is digging much deeper, covering a period from 2009 to 2018. What's more, this time City don't have the luxury of appealing to CAS. In this situation, the decision is entirely in the hands of the Premier League's own disciplinary committee, and with a whopping 115 charges, the stakes have never been higher. Yes, they can appeal, but this time CAS is out of the picture. And the biggest difference? While UEFA's case was primarily about inflated sponsorship deals, the Premier League's investigation goes way beyond that. City may have escaped UEFA's net, but the Premier League's case could be much harder to slip out of. Man City's rise to the top of English football has been nothing short of extraordinary. A decade and a half ago, they were the noisy neighbours in the city of Manchester, but now they are the reigning dynasty. But all that glittering success, the titles, the records, the Pep Guardiola revolution, could be tainted by these charges. If City are found guilty, it could cast a dark shadow over their achievements since 2009. Suddenly, every league title, every domestic cup win, every victory over a direct title contender, every time City have shown the mentality of a true champion, even the European treble in 2023, will come with an asterisk. Rival fans, especially those who have felt City's dominance on the pitch, won't let them forget it. Bought success could be a phrase thrown around with even more venom, and that could prove disastrous not only for the team's past but also for their future. Even Guardiola, who's been vocal about his faith in the club's honesty, may reconsider his future if things go wrong. That's why, unsurprisingly, just a few months after the allegations were made, there was much talk of Guardiola leaving the citizens in the foreseeable future. If Manchester City is found guilty, however, it won't just be their trophy cabinet feeling the heat. Other Premier League clubs could be in for some wild consequences too. We already talked about the title strips and the possible outcomes of this, but the Man United and Liverpool cases might not be all. In theory, the investigated period extends from 2009 to 2018, but hypothetically, if Man City were committing misconduct, they are unlikely to have ended in the final year of the 9 seasons studied. From 2018 until the last completed campaign in 23-24, Liverpool had been runner-up 2 times, Arsenal also 2 times, and Man United once. But on the other hand, let's not forget about the financial impact. If City faces fines or transfer bans, other clubs could swoop in to grab part of their players or capitalise on sponsorship deals that City might lose. But as we said, to be punished so severely, Man City would have to have committed really serious offences, and those offences would have to be proven in court. Having said that, Manchester City's case would be incredibly difficult to prove. Why is that? Well, financial regulations are often riddled with grey areas, and clubs have entire teams of lawyers and accountants who specialise in stretching the rules without breaking them, at least on paper. City's defence is likely to be based on the claim that their finances were compliant, and with allegations dating back more than a decade, finding strong evidence will be no easy task. This complexity is compounded by the fact that the Premier League will have to prove intent, that City actively sought to deceive regulators. It is not enough to show misconduct, it must be shown that there was deliberate wrongdoing. And with that being said, we come to the end of today's video. Tell us what you think, and can you shock us with something we haven't mentioned? Also, if you enjoyed that one, hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already, and you'll see more entertaining content just like this. Catch you in the next one, and bye-bye.